Sometimes I feel that we take care of them like our children.
改变是个过程，不是 magic 啦。
I'm a prison officer.
我是监狱署的心理学家。
生命本来就是一个奇迹。
这个也是我最有满足感的。
这份工很特殊，很有意义。
生命确实很可贵。
我在奇迹里面扮演一个重要的角色。
Hi, I'm Tessa. I am a team leader at the Psychiatric Correctional Unit, PCU. I have been working as a prison officer for about 16 years now. I've been in PCU for about 2 years.
骂谁？等一下要看医生啊！哦，不可以大便啊。OK， 不要吵啊！
The day can start in the morning, 7 o'clock we count the master. After that, we have to unlock them for their out-of-cell activities. Before that, we make sure that we go on medication rounds with the staff nurse.
Number please.
At the same time, we're also checking how they're doing, whether they are doing well, have they been sleeping.
OK， 我们去验了，穿 mask。
Just now when I was engaging one inmate that he has brain trauma, he is scolding people inside the cell, but he's staying alone. So to him, it is real. Some of the mental health issues that they have is schizophrenia, psychosis, bipolar, and also depression.
My name is Roger Chan. I'm the second superintendent of Institution A3. The Psychiatric Correctional Unit, or PCU, is a part of Institution A3. My role here is to oversee all matters pertaining to prison operations as well as inmates rehabilitation. We started PCU because we realized that inmates with mental health conditions needs to be treated separately. We house a very small group of inmates with mental health conditions. So these inmates are actually accessed by medical personnel to be able to benefit from the program before they are transferred to PCU.
Every inmate has different mental health issues, and what is baseline normal behavior for one inmate can differ very differently for another inmate. We need to be more attentive and really pick up any small signs of stresses or triggers, and we must know how to de-escalate a situation.
结束的那天你怎么回家？
我弟弟啊。
弟弟来载你。
PCU staff here generally handpicked. They are more experienced and they have a good composure to be able to take on erratic situations which might just arise any moment.
I had inmates where they come in, they can actually just stand up and then they just want to go home. They just walk straight to the door, and we had to stop him. I had an incident where we were escorting an inmate out for his COVID jab, and everything was fine. Without any warning, without any trigger, this inmate just went for another inmate. He thought that this other inmate was talking bad about him, so it was a really eye-opener when I just got here. Initially, when I started work here, the learning curve was really tough. Getting to know the inmates was a challenge, and sometimes what is the norm in the mainstream might not be the same here. As team leader, I ensure that daily operations are run smoothly. Inmates, they have out-of-cell activities, they have their medication rounds, they go for classes, and they go for counselling as well.
我是郑静婷，我是新加坡监狱署的心理学家。我在监狱署已经服务了10年。How is this 5 Ps relevant for you in your CU itself? 我们了解到 officers 他们会有很多困难 managing this group of offenders， 所以我们就觉得这些 training right 会帮忙他们好像了解这个 inmate。所以在这边呢，我们会做 assessments， 看他们会回来犯同样的一个罪吗？还有给他们一些 rehabilitation programs、therapy， 还有一些辅导。目的呢是想要帮他们有新的一些 skills， 新的一些想法。其实他们真的很像平凡的人。如果我在他们的环境里面成长，我也可能会做同样的一些错误。我不是在这边想要他们改，希望帮他们不要重犯了自己所做的错误了。
Working here can be challenging. Sometimes you can feel defeated. Some of the challenging and more disappointing moments can be where you have invested so much time, so much engagement with an inmate, and they actually promise you, I will not self-harm anymore, I will not swallow my toothbrush anymore, I will not break the cup and cut myself anymore. But the next thing you know, he is triggered, and then we are sending him to the A&E again.
I 我还记得有一个时期，我驾车回去的路程会感到有点 stress， 好像心里有点，好像很紧绷这样。那个时期我在看这个 client， 他杀了自己的女儿。那个时候我比较新，比较 inexperienced， 也因为有这个沉重的责任，不要他重犯，所以可能会影响到自己的情绪了。
I have some inmates here that are also intellectually disabled, meaning low IQ. It's very interesting to have conversations with them. They can sing you a song, they can tell you a joke, or they can ask you out of the norm questions. Sometimes I feel that we take care of them like our children, and they can be very endearing as well. I'm motivated by actually seeing the change that you see in an inmate. From somebody who is non-responsive, who is in their own world, they cannot take instructions from you, to somebody that playing basketball, asking to go and study Microsoft Office. So that's one of those rewarding things that I've encountered here.
我觉得最印象深刻的是我在run group 的时候啦。 我跟我的同事呢，就把他们的故事呢放进一个歌里面了。当我们 share 那个 song 的时候，我看到他们情绪开始改变了，可以看到他们的眼泪，跟我们讲哇，这个真的是我们的故事。那个时候，我觉得哇，好像是一个很 powerful 的 moment。我们会跌倒。 可是，如果我们可以给他们多一个机会，我觉得这个社会会比较好一点。
I have no delusions that they can be dangerous and they can be a threat to others or themselves. But at times, you can actually see the glimpses of the individual. Their mental health should not define them.
我们的 therapy 不是 magic， 改变呢是个过程。
要确保在这里的精神病患可以接受到治疗，
帮这些天使们安上了一对翅膀，让他们在人生道路上继续飞翔。
我是监狱精神科寓所的主管，
我是一名临床专科护理师。
Attention CU1 inmates, attention CU1 inmates, stand by for the midday master check.
Hello，然後師傅， 啊，无代志啊。啊，你心情好不？心好啦，哈。我是李金发医生，我是心理卫生学院的一个顾问医生。我在这个心理卫生学院已经工作了10年了。我是来自法医精神病科的医生。你逐天啊，都知道做什么物件？所以我主要的工作会要帮助法庭了解被告当他们犯罪的时候的精神状况，帮他们做一个诊断。我另外一部分的工作就是在监狱署治疗精神疾病的囚犯。The last time, right, you requested to decrease your injection, right? Why Why you want to be 20? We quickly take a look at your hands, okay?
把手放前面，放直直 ，OK。
日常的工作就是诊断病人，确保在这里的精神病患可以接受到治疗，确保他们出去之后还是能够继续接受这些治疗。I don't think you can go home today. Yeah, you are in prison for a reason, right? Don't think you can go home today. Yeah, I've already told you that, right?
我叫李杰，我是一名临床专科护理师。我在这里工作了有4个月了，然后在这之前，我有在心理卫生学院工作了将近有20年的时间。放松啊 ，OK， 放松你的手臂。临床专科护理师和普通护士不一样的就是他有硕士学位，可以做一些比较高级一点的技能，比如说给诊断、问诊，甚至可以建议一些治疗方案。
在这里的工作方式跟心理卫生学院的情况就是很大的不一样，因为我们主要是护士在照顾病人，在这里是监狱官跟病人的接触比较多，所以我们一定要通过他们才可以更了解我们的病人的状况。每2个礼拜都会有一个会议就是心理卫生学院的这个团队，还有监狱官他们一起开会，当中就是会谈到病人的进展安排他们出狱之后怎么继续的照顾他们这样子。
Okay, so from the email that
这里是比较高戒备的地方了，就是从外面进来这边就是要通过一道道的门，还有安全检查。一开始的时候，我有带很多我日常所用的东西来这边，但是当我要带进来的时候，在安全检查的职员边就跟我讲说，你这些东西是不可以带进来的，如果你真的要带进来，你需要通过申请。然后在这边，我觉得与世隔绝的，就是因为只是我一个人在办公室里，和我同事的接触就是说比较少。经常会接触到一些精神病患，跟我讲说他们不想继续服药。我的工作就是我会去劝服他们。他们觉得好像是说我没有事情为什么我要继续吃药，对吗？但是其实是正是因为他们每天有吃药，所以他们现在没有事情。如果他们停止服药的话呢，他们的病情就会有很大的几率会复发。
在这一个监狱，我们有10个小的监狱，所以消化的时间真的是蛮多的，因为都要走路去的。安排时间方面就要谨慎一些这样。We can just speak from him from the outside. Yes, yes, I do. Yeah. How are you? How many days have you been here already? 另外那个挑战就是跟监狱官的合作很重要因为护士都是有经过训练的嘛，但监狱官当然他们就自然的就没这么熟悉啦。我们也打算设计一些课程就是让我们的监狱官可以更了解一下基本的精神科的常识这样子。
我觉得这边的病患呢，相比普通的精神病患，他们其实背负的是双重的一个偏见。新加坡这个社会呢，我们对精神病的接纳还是有一些微词的啦，我觉得。我有参加过一个特殊的毕业典礼，这个毕业典礼其实是为这里的精神病患已经完成了我们这边的康复课程举办的，就感觉很惊讶，因为我看到他们做的手工制品，还有他们画的一些画，其实他们都是很有天赋的，所以我觉得这也是我在这边工作感觉到很满意的一个地方。 他们称自己为堕落的天使了。我觉得我们这个课程好像是帮这些天使们安上了一对翅膀，能够让他们在他们人生道路上继续飞翔。
我们都知道精神疾病是能够被治疗的，所以我在这里也是希望我们能够提供最佳的治疗，希望他们出狱之后也能继续的接受治疗，也更容易的融入社会。
我希望每个人都能够放下偏见，更好的去接纳他们走向社会，他们也会对社会做出更大的贡献。
Every resident that we meet is unique, yet they are here for the same reason. I'm Center Manager for Rise Above Halfway House.
我是东楚之家的社工。
What's beginning? Oh my God, I said wrong. Yeah, okay. My name is Xiao Ling. I just come out from the prison. I've been at the halfway house for a few months already. When they first told me that I'm going to a halfway house, I was very surprised. We need to stay here in the halfway house first before we can go to work. The first thing I think is the freedom. Surely I cannot go anywhere as I like. But then slowly I realized actually it's good for me. From like crawling and slowly grow up, then walking. Now I'm started to run.
I'm Saleha, Center Manager for Rise Above Halfway House. Rise Above Halfway House was set up by PPIS, Singapore Muslim Women's Association, together with Singapore Prison Service. So the intent and purpose of this place is really to create a safe and structured place where women ex-offenders are able to build their life. Xiaoling, when she first joined us, really needed a lot of assistance. She's been away for quite a number of years. She did not know where to start. So today we are celebrating Chinese New Year, and at Rise Above we have residents of various faiths and backgrounds, so we are celebrating it together. Rise Above started in September 2022, and we house about 30 residents per year, and most of them stay here on an average 6 to 9 months. Some common challenges that the residents face include securing themselves an employment. A number of them also experience reconnecting with families.
When I come out the prison, I was lost. The MRT line, I see so many lines, it's really confusing. I felt that, oh my God, I like from which century? I was very bad with my gadgets actually. When I first just come here, I don't know how to use the handphone. I was so, ma'am, can you help me? But sometimes I also feel shy because we are new, right? But after some time, when we get to know each other very well, then I find that they are very nice people.
Okay, so today we are starting Unit 2, My Healthy Journey.
我是谢杰西，我是来自 Rise Above 东楚之家的社工。
These cards contain different.
当我一开始听说有一个对各种种族和宗教开放的女性东楚之家的时候，我就感到很有兴趣，因为这其实是新加坡的第一间。
Why is gaining your family trust very important for you at this moment?
It's been really quite a journey starting up a halfway house. When I'm out of the halfway house, I'll be thinking about the welfare of the residents. I'll be thinking about their progress, how my staff is coping. Playing this role also means that I have to learn how to self-care even more. I also have to model to my team members that we need to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of others.
有时候他们分享的问题会很沉重，要一直提醒自己，自己是一个社工，所以你一定要是一个很坚强的人来帮助他们。起初是有点累，可是现在好几个月下来过后就会比较轻松一点。
When there are major disciplinary issues, sometimes we have to make difficult decisions. A heart-wrenching moment is really watching for the first time. The prison van come in and then the officers handcuff the resident back to the van and bring the resident back. I think that was a very impactful moment.
最大的满足感，比方说，他们找到自己很喜欢的工作，然后你看到他们出去做工回来就很开心、很快乐的时候，就觉得很有满足感。比如说，很久没有跟孩子见面，辅导的时候他就跟我分享过，他终于鼓起勇气打电话给他孩子讲话的时候，然后看见他开心的那个样子，我觉得我也感到开心，很感动啊。
We're very confident with Xiaoling's progress. Very happy to see her graduate.
I felt that I'm more confident. Last time when I walk also I will look down. Now at least I can put my head up. But not so high up, but still on the same level as my neck lah. Thank you for everything, ma'am. Bye. I will tell my ma'am, thank you for being there for us and never give up on us.
只要我们慢下脚步，给他们时间，他们其实可以变成更好的人。
Everybody has a potential to give, and when we believe that and we allow them to contribute, that's where they shine.